Welcome back to Callahan Corner, where you ask the questions, we answer them live right here on Facebook. So one of the questions submitted this week was, in a service autopilot job costing report, or in the new report center, when you make a custom report, what does the labor cost and drive time effect cost actually mean, and how is it actually calculated? So we dug in, and as certified advisors, we've been teaching this at our 2-day and 1-day deep dives for quite a while now. But I did want to demystify some parts of Service Autopilot that, well, pretty much the general user group probably doesn't really understand how it's calculated. So what I'm going to do is share my screen and dive in to show you the things you must have in Service Autopilot for success to track your drive time and the labor effect that drive timing and non-billable mobilization is happening. So as we go, I'm going to pop up my screen here, and as usual. So right here we have a job costing report that we provide in our KPI package, so our key performance indicator and accountability package with SimpleGrowth. So I figured this would be a really good place to go in and show you what this is all about. So what we've got here is 2 test jobs on top and bottom. So as we scroll through, the area that I'm talking about is the labor cost right here and the drive time effect cost. So the first job here has no drive time effect because no one clocked in and out of the job in the mobile. No data to be shown. Now there is a labor cost. So the cost of labor based on the start and stop time of the job and how many individuals and the actual individual on the job itself. The bottom job here has a labor cost and a drive time effect cost as well. So what we want to do first and foremost to make this work is we need to go to the employee area. And when you go in, we want to go into Payroll Job Costing. Now this is under Teams Employees. You'd click into the actual employee, and this is what you'd have here. So we want the hourly rate. So in this example, this gentleman's getting paid $16 an hour. Now you'll notice the job costing information of $19.04 per hour doesn't equal $16. What this is labor plus labor burden. What that is, if you're unaware, some examples of things that go into that labor burden is company FICA, unemployment, state unemployment, workers' comp, liability, vacation, holiday, health insurance, company bonus fund, and health insurance premium. These are percentages of the dollar. So if you do not have these numbers, call your payroll company or your insurance company. They should be able to break that down. So in this example, we've got it at 19%. So we would plug the hourly rate in of 16, and my sheet adds my labor burden of $19.04 and overtime plus labor burden of $28.56. You are going to want to enter those 2 numbers in here. So hourly wage with labor burden for normal wage straight and overtime. Then hit save. That's the first piece of the puzzle. Second piece of the puzzle is on the job, we need to clock in and clock out of the job. What you're going to see is when we go into the audit trail here of the master job, we can scroll down and actually see this. So we have the mobile app right here by Chad clocking in and clocking out and what times he clocked in and out of the job. That was a test one we did to see if he clocked in and out under a minute, what would happen. This one right here is he started at 12:49 and ended at 12:58 for that particular job. So you can see the clock in and clock out in the mobile. Once those things are taken care of, you can go in now and look at your report, and it's going to multiply that in there. So your labor cost right here is going to be your labor with burden times the hours on the job, your actual clock in. Drive time cost effect, if and only if you have the clock in and clock out, is going to be your labor with burden on that particular employee times your drive time. That's what's going to give you those numbers. So we back that out and confirm that with SA. In addition, the final piece that I would highly recommend is under the gear icon services. A lot of the other reports are going to look for this data. So if we have a service, the final tab that you may want to update is a job costing tab, and it's a job costing analysis tab. We want to put the target dollar per hour in there on site and a target with drive time. In my instance, I want to be making the same amount of money whether I'm on site or with the drive time on average. If some people are having a lower percentage of mobilization and they don't need to hit their hourly goal across that based on the conversation with their consultant financially, this is where we put that in, and then that will drive some of the labor or the revenue goals as well here in the job costing reports. These are the target hourly rates used on the reports, job screen, and rate matrix. So those are the key parts, but in order to make it work, we definitely need the labor with labor burden on the employee. Here, we need a clock in and clock out, and that is going to give you the non-emotional data of your labor cost and your drive time effect. Now, if you don't have clock in, clock out, you will have a 0, no data in, no data out. So that is the benefits of having all the different dots and Service Autopilot connected. So we drive it into a systemized report like our KPI report, and you have a very non-emotional look at your business from 30,000 square feet down to the granular level of per job mobilization. And we can take a look at that drive time cost effect. If it's up past a certain threshold, then we need to start going in charging more for drive time there or build more route density. So those are the keys that I would recommend in any service business with mobilization and drive time cost effect. Comments, questions, drop them here in the live video or on the recorded. And I'll be watching those for you. And as always, with Callahan's Corner, you ask the questions, we answer them live right here on Facebook.